Other countries have been getting onto this technology, and as you note, we've been really behind the eight ball for some time. So it's great that we're getting these things involved, but I'm not sure that it really puts us that much further forward.
No, it doesn't put us further forward. It's really just catching up with what's the industry standard. I mean, Switchblade was originally developed by the Americans for the war in Afghanistan, and they put it into service in 2012. So that's 12 years ago. Terrorist groups such as ISIS and Al Qaeda have been making and using homemade equivalents to this for over a decade. In Ukraine, we see the Ukrainians using thousands of drones literally every day. And this, as far as I can tell, is the first lethal drone that the Australian Defence Force has actually acquired. And so I'm just perplexed it's taken us this long, particularly when there are Australian companies, SMEs here in Australia, that can produce this technology and in fact have already been exporting this technology to other countries.
I ask this question of everyone I talk to about defence, so you're not going to be an exception. Why do you think it has taken us so long to do something like this? I mean, our defence procurement over the past decade, at the very least, and that covers both the Albanese government and then the various iterations of the coalition government, have been absolutely abysmal. We are so far behind the eight ball. Why did no one wake up and do anything?
Well, it's not a question of money. I mean, the Australian taxpayer is giving the Australian Defence Department $55 billion a year. So there is a lot of money there, and I think we should be expecting better. There's a number of reasons. I think one is there's a deep distrust in the Australian Defence Department about Australian industry. I used to work in the Defence Department and I experienced it. So there is this view that if you want something good, you have to go to the Americans and you have to go to the big prime companies like Boeing and Lockheed Martin. But really, that's a nonsense. I mean, the thing is, we can go and buy this system off the shelf from an American company and we can stockpile hundreds or a few thousand of these things. But I'll tell you, on day 2 of the war, we've probably run out of them. And you're not going to be able to get them in a hurry on the global market when a big war starts. So if we want to be ready for the next war, we need robust Australian companies, Australian industry that can produce these things and also upgrade them, because on day 2 of the war, the enemy will have worked out how to counter them, and we need to work out the next version that can overcome the adversary's countermeasures. I mean, this is what we're seeing every day in Ukraine, this rapid lightning evolution. And if we're just buying a product from off the shelf from overseas, we're not going to have the capability to adapt rapidly.
Yeah, look, for a country that sits so close to China, it's quite frankly pathetic. I can't believe we're in this position. Marcus Hellyer, thank you so much for your time.